After interviewing the survivor of the Broken Barn attack, our heroes headed to Shadehaven and entered Daruda's gambling kingdom. Will they be able to meet with the alleged crime boss and find out the information to take down this gang of thugs? Will Acantha and her high charisma be able to get them a meeting? Will Gromhan say or do something weird? Probably. We'll find out what happens to our group of aces in this episode of Launched into Fantasy.
Last episode, y'all went on your first Aces mission only to, initially it was, let's go beat some bandits, and then you found out that these bandits are actually monsters. And not like the monsters like the ogres and trolls and goblins running around enjoying city life. I mean like monsters that like you find in nightmares that haunt you and hurt you deep into your soul.
Like Drow.
Yeah. Dirty, disgusting Drow.
That's racist.
Right? Anyway, so after meeting with one of the more, you could say fortunate victims of the gang you met as they came out of it alive, and she then told you that the next big lead to try and find these guys is to go to a famous gambling hall in the borough of Shadehaven, owned by a Drow potential mafia boss named Daruda. You have entered the compound and you are now just kind of looking around and trying to find out where to go and how to get into it. You found out some things like there being a stairwell guarded by a big old ogre. And other than that, you just see a big old gambling hall. Again, people are gambling. They're winning and losing money. There's obviously like a high roller section. There are corridors in which guards and, serving girls come in and out to peddle wares and, serve drinks to especially the high rollers. And you are now just kind of trying to cue the music.
You were setting the scene.
Sure, fair enough. And
now it's ruined.
Now, fuck. So now you're kind of, just trying to figure out what the best way is to get an audience with Daruda. Last thing that we had done is allowed our resident mushroom mage to snoop around, and he was buffeted by an ogre guard.
He's a wizard.
Wizard.
Yeah,
mushroom wizard.
Mushroom
Technically,
wizard.
A wizard is a mage.
Dude, mushroom wizard sounds like a Beatles song. So he was rebuffed by an ogre guard, but if one were to try and sneak past him, one would think this would be the path to get your way onto Daruda. I mean, you could try sneaking past him, but none of y'all are rogues.
Or sneaky.
Yeah.
So
roguish.
Ish.
Yeah. So
would
fuck yeah.
Midnight lovin'.
Who's getting seduced tonight?
This is some suggestive music.
So did I go back and tell them?
You can.
Yeah.
You can.
Alright.
Feel free to
I done
actually
found an ogre.
Feel free to actually talk to the players here.
Alright, so I found an ogre.
You could try sneaking past the many guards that frequent this place. You can try talking to somebody, maybe at the table, or a dealer, or a guard. You can bluff your way. You have so many options to try and get through this casino.
Could we just badge him? Be like, hey, we need to talk to.
That's probably not a good idea. Especially in a sketchy place like this. I don't think they'd take too kindly to the law.
Let's take our badges off then.
But then they also follow the law. They're lawful evil.
Yeah, but it's a potential mafia outfit.
Yeah.
They might tell you to scram.
They don't take too kindly to the good law.
And so far, it seems like everybody's bigger than you by a solid margin. All of the guards are either buffed out orcs or ogres.
I'm a buffed out orc.
Yeah, but you don't really compare
You're level
to this.
1 buffed out orc.
I'm the size of my shield.
Yeah, you're not really like the size of an ogre. You're not ogre swole.
I mean, I have a high charisma score, so
You could charm your way past the ogre.
I also have a high intimidation.
You could also scare the ogre.
I am an intimidate too.
You can also do this.
Yes.
I can talk to them about religion.
That was,
So can I.
Yeah.
Such are the perks of being a paladin.
You have a lot of options. You can talk to one of the guards to see if you can try to at least get an audience. You could lie and say it's important, or
Well, it is important.
It is important.
important to them.
It is
Well,
important
it's
to their
important to them
business.
because we won't kill them otherwise.
Well, the orc,
Bluff check.
the orc,
The dork.
The dwarf.
I take offense to that.
The dwarf orc.
Yeah.
Dwarf orc?
No.
The dwarf
Shut up.
orc.
Anyways, the orc already knows that, like...
Yeah, he's kind of got his eye on you anyway because
Yeah.
you were getting too close to the restricted area.
So you have to go play the high rollers table now.
Yeah, I do have to go.
But
I will
Are
in
you-
passing be
Are
like...
you ready to get broke?
Probably.
yeah, what you talking
I
about?
will make sure my party knows that there is an orc guarding a door that might be of some relevance to what we're doing here.
You could try, if you wanted to, sneaking through some of the auxiliary doors where, like, the guards go in.
I have prestidigitation too. I could set off the fire alarm, or I could do.
She'll be
You can
Distractions.
make an auspicious smell that makes everybody leave.
I was gonna say, like...
What
you
smells
can-
like toast?
Oh shit, I smell toast! Everybody get out!
Oh shit, everyone smells toast. Panic!
I was gonna kind of suggest I don't know if this is possible, but you're an orc. You got disguise stuff. Like, we could always dress you up as a guard and maybe try and
But
take the
would
other...
that work?
Yeah, I have a disguise kit
No,
as
no,
well.
I'm not going to stop any of you from doing anything. I'm not going to tell you whether or not
I could forge paper for him.
I can't deception worth a damn.
Damn it.
Don't matter.
You
You'll
can
be
try
using my
anything.
forge thing.
And also in the previous episode, that
Forgery.
pretty much only me and Wednesday have really been privy to because we've been listening to the pre-recordings, is that Kieg at some point did say they also tend to hit up brothels. You might be able to hit up information at a brothel if you feel like you can't get anywhere in this casino.
Okay, so if we fail,
Yeah, we
Yeah.
still
If
need to try our
fuck up,
options.
yeah, of course. If you
then-
fuck up royally, you still have.
We
another
shouldn't
idea.
try to fuck up because there might be mafia. They might try to
Yeah, we
get us later on.
definitely don't want to get on.
Yeah, we don't want to
Yeah.
fuck up too bad.
Yeah.
Assuming they are mafia, like it's all conjecture.
You should assume the worst when it comes to this.
George's Guide to Life. Assume the worst.
Assume the worst, except regarding to how George actually operates in real life.
So should we head over to the brothel then? Just to-
I think we should try what we can here.
Yes,
because you haven't really actually talked to anybody.
we haven't done anything.
You just walked around.
Yeah.
All right, I guess
And
I'm
then
going over
you
to the
got
high
caught.
rollers table.
Looked around the
All right.
Are you gonna be? How much?
All right, so
2 seconds later, he comes back.
so you
I
walk.
have mushrooms.
All right, so you walk over to the high
Apparently,
rollers
mushrooms
table.
are not a valid currency.
You see a lot of people exchanging. How much gold do you have?
I have 10 gold.
Oh. You see people exchanging a lot more than 10 gold.
You're
But
poor.
there are lower bets. There are like usually in the other like the other tables you've seen like silver exchanged, maybe a gold or two, rarely copper because who wants to get
That's where all the old ladies are.
like all the old ladies playing bingo in the corner.
Who the hell wants copper?
Penny
Yeah.
slots, copper slots.
Yeah, copper slots. So you do see a lot of gold being exchanged, but you also do see like smaller amounts, like 1 to 3, and then some people are like throwing out 20. Like,
Is there any tables that like
What's your game? What's your game, man?
blackjack or 21?
Okay, there are the kind of sort of equivalents of blackjack, they're just called Drow Smack or something. I don't know.
Drow
No.
The Darktown specialty card game.
You do see some card games. You do see like wheel spinning games, kind of like
roulette.
Yeah, and some other stuff. There are a few empty tables.
All right, I'm gonna go up to one that's relatively empty.
Okay. I assume you sit down at the table?
Yeah.
So you're playing against the house then?
You're playing against the house.
There are some people there. You approach a table, and
what will we be doing?
We're just watching.
You can do anything.
We're gonna watch him fuck up.
It's time to watch the train crash.
If you give me a second, I'll let him do whatever. And
Yeah,
then we'll
he's
have
gonna.
you.
Yeah.
So you move over to the table, and you see 3 people. The dealer, who is a... Wait, I didn't think this hard. You see a Black Dragonborn dealer shuffling. What table did you want to go to? Did you want to go to like a roulette or?
I'm going to blackjack.
Okay, so you
21.
see. So you see a Black Dragonborn. He's dressed in a very
Black Dragonborn doing blackjack.
We're fucking awful, but I'm worse because I didn't think about it. You see him just dealing out cards. He's in a relatively nice suit, which is also black, which kind of makes him hard to see because he's just black. It's just black all the way down.
Lit and
And along the other table, you see a elderly looking goblin, throwing out coins like it doesn't matter. He's just like, nah, whatever.
Has he got like a stogie?
Yeah, he's got a
He's like balding. He's got a cigar.
Yeah, he's got like a big thick cigar. The smell is pungent. And when he exhales, it's not like just a wisp of smoke. It's like a fucking fog bank.
If he's throwing out gold like this, I'm pretty sure you won't notice if someone were to relieve him of his purse.
Maybe.
I have enough.
Across the goblin, you see a birdman. You see an avian man who. Let me actually look up what I think they're called like Akarakoa or something weird. I'll look into the name later.
Bird person.
I'm just gonna say bird person and then correct myself later. But he kind of has like an eagle-like face to him. He's got like downy white feathers.
He's bird person in my head, so.
And he's got like wings on his back, and he's kind of just leaning forward, looking grim at the goblin who's just throwing gold on the table. And you see on his side that there's a substantially small pile of only a couple of gold. As you sit down, the Black Dragonborn dealer looks at you and says, how much you betting?
Gonna throw in 2 gold.
Okay. The game is Drow Smack. I don't even know what the hell I'd call it, but so you throw in 2 gold. What would that be? Okay, so you have a couple of options. Would you like to cheat, or would you like to try and actually, how do you cheat at blackjack?
You count cards.
Yeah.
Even though that's technically not cheating.
Yeah. So would you like to attempt cheating? Would you like to attempt bluffing? Or
how would you bluffing cards?
Shut up, man.
You bluff the card to make them.
So you can either try cheating or you can try bluffing. If you are caught cheating, you run the risk of
getting your face smashed,
getting kicked out.
All right.
So what you're gonna do is if you decide to cheat, you're gonna roll a deception. You're gonna roll a deception check, or compared to a roll I make. Or a persuasion. You might be able to distract people to try and cheat if you have a high enough performance skill. I don't care if this isn't the rules. I haven't looked in the intricacies. I'm just ballparking this. So whatever you want to use, you can to help you try and win.
This is our style. We try to make shit up.
I was gonna say, is there any way I can use either an investigation check to check out the other?
You totally can.
All right.
You can either do perceptions or investigations.
All right. I'm gonna do investigation then to see if I notice any patterns while I'm doing this. Shh.
What'd you get?
I got a 1.
You don't see shit.
Damn
you
it.
investigate
So
the fact that there are people at this table.
Damn it.
There appear to be cards.
There appears to be dish-like coins that you don't know what they are.
You see flat, shiny discs of metal that you're not 100% sure what they are at this moment because your brain melted.
And you're high as fuck.
You don't think they're edible.
They're not like your mushrooms. So if you'd like to roll, just tell me if you're going to do deception, performance, or persuasion to bluff, cheat, or distract people.
I mean, they're all +1, so doesn't even matter.
What do you want to do?
I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try I'm gonna try a bluff because that seems
okay.
Like, what is the one I'm looking for? Nat 20.
You get to nat 20.
Nope. 8, 9.
You are down 2 gold.
Yep.
Rip.
Like as you're. Okay, so let's move on to everybody else. What are you guys gonna do? You just see your like mushroom wizard friend just saunter over to a table and slap down money and
I'm gonna
proceed to lose that money.
yes.
I'll play.
George wants to play?
Well, okay, you can play, but keep in mind you're also trying to figure out how to get in. This isn't a game, guys.
He could do the thing, and I'll try to make some money.
Okay, so I have a pretty high charisma.
Okay.
Maybe I could try to talk to the ogre, and see if we can get a meeting with Daruda.
You want to be her bodyguard?
You totally could. So do you want to like set it up so like you're like an important person and he's like your orc?
Yeah, I mean, because I'm a tiefling, so like
you fit in around.
Yeah. Tieflings are not,
Yeah.
You need a disguise.
Okay.
Super popular.
I'm in full chainmail.
He looks guardy. Like
I'm in full chainmail. I have a bow and a halberd.
If you want to try to like charm the guard, literally, if you have charm person.
I don't have charm person. I gave it up for.
I have charm person
for command.
Yeah, but you're gambling.
Oh no,
I'm watching him.
You could do that.
No, I gave it up for Hex. That's what I gave it for.
You totally could try to charm the guard into being your friend.
Yeah, because okay.
Literally and magically.
Okay.
Alright, so if you approach the guard, the ogre dressed in black just kind of looks at you with like this really withering stare, like his brow crunches.
Trying to frighten us.
His eyes just kind of focus on you and just goes, hey, what do you want?
Hi, I have an appointment with Daruda.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Okay. Prove it.
I apologize. I misspoke. I need to make an appointment with Daruda.
Oh, you do you? All right. Who are you?
My name's Acantha.
Okay. What does that matter to me?
You asked what my name was.
Fair enough. But what is... Yeah, but you're Acantha of or to do what? Like...
That's my name.
Make your charisma check.
16.
Acantha, you look pretty enough. Maybe we could hire you as, like, one of our dancing girls. But, if you need to talk to Daruda, well, I saw you walk in with a bunch of other guys, especially that guy who walked over to the high rollers table. What about them?
Oh, I don't know that guy.
To be fair, I am accompanying her.
Oh,
so, yeah.
And he looks over to Graak. It's Graak,
yes,
right?
It's Graak.
Graak, and he goes like, hey, who are you? What are you doing here? You with her?
I'm the muscle.
So you have muscle, eh? All right.
Where's the bugbear?
Oh, Kieg is just kind of...
Kieg's off doing his own thing.
Kieg's just kind of standing back, trying to look very inauspicious, despite being a giant, shirtless
So he's just standing by the wall, then.
Yeah, he's just kind of trying to be a wallflower, but he is kind of just watching you guys. He's not trained on you so he can be noticed, but he's definitely looking at you guys.
Okay, yeah, because if I need to, I can be like, do I need to bring my other bodyguard? And I will motion over to
Yeah.
Kieg.
Okay, so he's not like completely won over, but he's kind of interested in the sense that he's like, maybe you're on the level.
You got a pretty woman with a bodyguard. She must be some level of importance.
Could be legit.
Yeah.
She's probably some level of importance.
So who do I speak to about getting an appointment with Daruda?
Oh, God. All right, hold on. I'll go get Kieg.
Kieg?
Thank you.
Kieg and Kieg. Partners in crime.
Anyway, so the ogre looks to another guard and he makes a loud whistle. Like, it's actually quite piercing. You would be surprised that an ogre could make a sound that high. A guard looks over, like, tilts his head, and, like, the ogre guard gives him, like, the up nod. And he then walks over and, like, walks away into one of the back rooms. And the ogre guard just looks at you and goes, just give him a little bit. Skeeg's kind of hard to get a hold of. You just need to wait a minute. Okay, so you've done that. What do you do, George?
I'm gonna place a 2 gold bet.
Okay, so you walk over to the high rollers table.
He wants to play.
Right. 2 doors. Might as well stick together.
All right, so you walk over to the high rollers table. You see the bird person and that goblin just throwing gold on the table. You can see the sad, dejected face of the future, as the future did not or may have predicted the loss of his money. So you sit down. The Black Dragonborn blackjack dealer, or blackjack equivalent of D&D, it says, well, how much you betting?
2 gold.
Okay, so you slap down 2 gold. Like I gave Alejandro before, you can either make a deception, persuasion, or what other fucking roll? Deception, deception, performance, or persuasion.
What would persuasion do? Because I don't want to, like, cheat, do deception. And
wait, did I say... Oh, wait, hold on.
Do I persuade the cards to give me good shit?
Deception... What the fuck did I say? Deception, performance... Did I say persuasion?
Yeah.
Okay. So, you can either use deception to try and cheat. If you have sleight of hand, you could try doing that too.
Yeah, I do, but I don't want to cheat.
Okay. Or you can try to do persuasion to try and, like, bluff your way through it.
I'll do the bluff.
Just do whatever's better, man. Just keep in mind.
They're both the same.
Okay.
Okay, do I roll?
Yeah, you roll at that number and you tell me what it is.
18 plus 4, 22.
You make 2 gold.
So I...
So add 4 to that.
98 gold. Alright.
Okay. So, you're gambling.
Yeah, money.
Has Kieg come yet?
After a minute, you see...
I'll hand you some gold later.
After a couple minutes, you, like, do I assume that you're out since you lost money and you just want to watch, or you, like...
I was gonna play again and maybe try and get some information from the...
You can try doing that.
Yes.
As you place your bet of how much?
I'm gonna place down 2.
Okay. So as you place your bet of 10 or 2, yeah, you just slowly, like, the DM convinces you to add more. What do you want to say to anybody? Like, you've got the dealer, you've got the bird person, you've got the goblin, and now George.
Yeah, George.
Or Gromhan. Gromhan.
So I look over at the dealer and, like, seems like an interesting place to work, especially for your kind. No offense.
He just looks at you and goes, none taken.
Oh, I like his voice. It's fun.
Just none taken. Yes, it's actually very fun to work here. As long as you're on the level and you don't try to scam the boss.
Seems fair. Though, to be honest, it's interesting to see a dragon not try to take all this gold. Again, no offense.
He looks at you.
Mighty racist here, money.
He looks at you with an increasing look of indignation, but all he says is, yes, quite.
Racist ass future.
Make a charisma check.
17.
Okay, so he looks at you and he offers up. He's just like, yes, well, Daruda likes to hire all kinds of people. She's actually very accepting of all walks of life. You could be Dragonborn, you could be Goblin, you could be Troll, you could be Hobgoblin, and as long as you're worthwhile, she'll hire you.
What?
She's got a very soft spot for Drow, though.
Huh.
Anyway,
Any way that a dwarf could get in on that?
well,
2 dwarfs.
you'd have to talk to Kieg. Speaking of which, he looks over his shoulder as a door opens, and the guard that went in is now being followed by a rather crafty-looking goblin. It
must be Ski.
They're well dressed. On closer inspection, you can tell it's a female goblin. Her eyes are very narrowed, and she's just glancing about as she makes her way over to Acantha and Graak. I keep wanting to say Drac because that was the last. That was the
fake name that you
That
gave.
is a fake name.
As he walks over to fucking
Graak.
It's got a G.
Shut up! The Black Dragonborn nods his head over to Kieg, and he says, well, if you're looking for a job, that'd be the one to talk to. But if you're gonna try and talk to her, it might as well be quick, because you don't find her that often. So you can either choose to ditch the table before you've placed your bet, or you can keep betting and just sit there.
I'm gonna play one more hand before going out.
Okay. How are you gonna do it? Are you gonna try and cheat, bluff, or perform?
I'm gonna attempt to bluff.
Okay.
11.
You lose 2 gold.
I'm surprised. Future is the worst at betting. You'd think otherwise.
Oh my god! That was perfect. Alright.
At least I got some information from the guy, so I'm just gonna tip my hat and leave. And
Okay.
Yeah, no, that was good. That was good.
As you get up and walk off, George, are you staying at the table or are you going to try to win more?
I'll play one more bet and then go with him.
Okay.
Okay, I'll do the persuasion thing again.
Okay.
Okay. And I bet 4 coins.
Okay. So
4 gold. 14 plus 4, 18.
Make 4 gold.
Alright! Okay,
Gromhan is significantly better at this than the time future.
Yeah.
and then I'll hand him 1 gold.
You've been given a pity gold.
Who doesn't love pity gold?
Well, you're down 3. It could be worse.
I'm up 3.
Yeah, you're up a lot. Okay, so you both get up and you make your way over to Acantha, who I assume, because as Kieg is being led over to Acantha, all of you guys are starting to amass, and you can even see Kieg approaching too, as this is the pivotal moment. Kieg, actually, make perception checks, everybody.
That was a good roll.
17 plus 4, 21.
Okay?
7.
All right?
What was it? Perception?
Yes.
22.
Okay. What did you roll?
8.
Okay. George, the Gromhan and the Future both notice as they approach that Kieg seems incredibly aware of her surroundings. She knows that she's being approached by multiple angles. You can tell that she is just on the ball everywhere, and she might just be a little bit more than just the hiring person, as they are almost unnaturally or acutely aware of her surroundings as she peers at everybody approaching her as she walks her way over to Acantha. Kieg then approaches Acantha, looking you up and down. She rubs her chin and looks over to Graak and raises a brow before looking at you and saying, So, I heard you were trying to make an appointment.
Yes, you're Skeeg?
Yes, I am in fact Kieg.
Pleasure to meet you. My name's Acantha.
Good.
And yes, I'd like to make an appointment with Daruda, please.
Why?
I have some information on, some folks that owe her some money.
Roll a charisma check.
20.
Indeed, that is valuable information, potentially. As everybody just starts to amass, she looks around and notices that everybody's kind of approaching, and she just kind of snorts and says, "Well, I assume this is your entire group of aces."
Shit.
And
we are not asses, thank you very much.
Indeed.
Awesome.
So I assume a group of aces want to see Daruda for a reason. And she makes the motions for everybody to approach. The ogre guard is like, "Oh, what? Aces?" And she looks at the future. She looks at the future. She looks at Gromhan, Graak, and you did give your name as Graak.
I did.
And Acantha. And she looks at Kieg.
Absolutely not.
And her lingering stare on Kieg lasts a little bit longer than what you normally expect. And she looks back.
Goblinoid to another.
Yeah, she looks at Acantha and says, "I will take you to Daruda, but that one stays." And she points to Kieg and gives him another pointed glare and says, "I will not allow the mad dog of Scagnetti to go see Daruda." And every single one of you, actually, how long have you been in this city? How long has Graak been in this city?
I think at least half a year.
Okay, every single one of you immediately checks in on the name Scagnetti. Because Scagnetti would refer directly to a one Theodorus Scagnetti, who is currently the leader of Keystones, which is like he is like the governing president of Keystones, who is in fact like the head government of this whole megacity. Scagnetti runs the megacity known as Jarothea. So Kieg has now been labeled as the mad dog of Scagnetti.
Interesting.
Sounds like a useful person to have on our side.
Maybe. There's a reason.
Unless we have to keep, going around sketchy places like this.
So Kieg just kind of gives her like a... Actually, make a perception check, everybody.
15.
10.
6.
Oh, wait, 9 plus 4. 13.
Four.
Okay. So, Drac is only the one to notice, really, that... Graak. I'm referring to Drac until you leave the...
Fine.
No, but Graak is the only really one to notice the slight shift in Kieg's expression when he gives a nod. It's almost kind of like not like a somber tone, but one of resignation. Like, yes, that's what I'm known as, but I'm not happy about it. So Skeeg nods and says, "You stay there, mad dog." And Kieg just raises his hands and says, like in, just whatever. Okay, I'll go over. And he walks over to the wall that he sits on, like he was before, and he just sort of sits there. Skeeg then looks at all of you and just gives a light snort before she motions to all of you to follow. The ogre guard is like actually kind of sweating at this point because he didn't think he was messing with aces. And if he had known, he probably would have turned you all away immediately, but you've gotten the approval of somebody much higher than him. As you pass him, you immediately notice that the corridor is actually really long and really well furnished. hallway. There's like decoration, like lavish decoration, like paintings of like broad expanses. There's busts of like just beautiful women or like
beautiful goblins.
Beautiful goblins, all of them beautiful. Paint me like your French goblin.
That sounds rather oxymoronic, a beautiful goblin.
Yeah, whatever. And as you walk in deeper, it just seems like it seems like a really long hallway. At the very, very end, you see a grand set of double doors. And Kieg just kind of walks in front of you, arms folded behind her back, and she actually, in the middle of the hallway, stops abruptly and raises a hand for you all to stop with her. As she turns to an empty-looking wall and places her hand about it, and you see a panel sink in as her hand presses into the panel, and you notice then once the panel is pushed in that you hear a winding series of gears and other sort of like subtle machinery. It's not like loud or like disruptive. It's more like subtle. It's almost like a purr of machinery as the door opens, leading into another hallway. And she looks back at you again, nods, and proceeds to lead you down another hallway. This hallway is much less lavishly decorated. It's much more sparse. It's not like it's just not what it was. It's not like holding up to the pretenses of the previous hallway or the room. It's a lot more drab.
This one isn't trying to show off wealth.
Yeah, it's not. It's
business.
Yeah, it's more like a business kind of thing. It's much more plain, but there is some form of like professionalism. Like whereas before it felt like walking through a palace's hallway. This is more like a well-furnished home. Like there's like beautiful wood panelings. There's lights affixed. There's not so much like paintings and stuff, but it's just a little bit more homely. And at the very end, you do see a door. It's a very simple door, though. Upon further inspection, you notice that it has a few latches here and there, a few like door windows that you can like unlatch and look into. And Kieg steps up to the door and opens the latch, and like you can't hear it, but you can hear the subtle sounds of muttering before she closes the latch and turns around to face you, just not expectingly, like wanting to say anything, just waiting. And after a long series of moments, you hear latches, clicks, and other sounds as the door behind her opens, and she steps actually backwards through the door, curving to the side, and then bowing as if like to, show you in. And she then says, "Daruda, a band of aces has come to see you with the hopes of sharing useful information." And as you step in, you see a rather extensive looking study. There's a rather large desk. Around her, around in the room are not basic knickknacks, just like items of like science, like alchemical stations. There's also objects of beauty. And also there are shelves of books like all around her. It's a study. It's not like a meeting room or anything like that. And behind the desk, you see in a rather large chair, it is a rather beautiful looking drow dark elf who is clad in leathers. She looks almost roguish. What she's wearing isn't like faffery. It's more like functional leathers, with small touches of flair here and there, like silver linings, little shinier buckles.
Battle-tested armor?
Yeah. But it's also in the sense to like look fancy in the sense that it's just, it's functional and stylish.
So it's like tooled leather.
Yeah. And you see her leaning back, and she's got her chin propped up on her fist as she looks at all of you with like a raised brow. And also what you notice is there are 3 pseudo-dragons chilling out with her. Now, pseudo-dragons are small, draconic-looking creatures that are about the size of house cats, larger house cats. And you know that they also have the temperament of house cats, but they're very intelligent. You couldn't get a conversation out of them unless you trained them to do it, but they're not stupid animals. And you see 3 of them. One perched in her lap, which is a mottled green and black. There's one chilling out on the back of her chair, like near her head, like just kind of curled up. And that one is red and black. And there's one just on her desk, chilling near her feet, that is looking straight at you guys with just pointed interest. And he is yellow and black. Daruda looks at all of you, and immediately the very first thing that you notice from Daruda is that her eyes are a very distinct and different color. Acantha, you are very aware of this, but Drow generally tend to have like silverish white eyes that blend in well with their sclera, but like they rarely ever have anything more than that. Daruda, on the other hand, has one green eye and one red eye.
She's wearing contacts.
You don't know. But they're very vibrant, they're very not what you're used to, and they're looking right at you. Or right at, like, you as a group.
Disconcerting.
Yeah.
I would have said stunning. But
yeah.
I'm a weirdo.
So she cranes her head and just looks at all of you, and she makes a motion to come closer. And Kieg is still standing by the door. Also, behind Daruda are 2 more ogre guards, but they seem a lot more jacked than the dude you met out front. Like, these were the high school football players of ogres.
So clearly, these are her bodyguards.
Yes, these would be her personal bodyguards. And as you approach, she looks at you in silence. She even actually goes so far as to reach over to the pseudo-dragon that's near her head. She's like reaching up and like scritching it under its chin, and you can hear the pseudo-dragon's sound of like purred pleasure. And she's just not even like regarding you. She's just kind of like, whatever. And like, she's just kind of looking at you guys like you don't really matter as much as to even like just play with her pet a little bit more in front of you before she looks at you guys with a relaxed expression, and she goes, "So, you have information for me. Speak."
Anybody else want to talk? Okay, I'll handle it. So I'm pulling out my investigator's notebook because I have names.
She looks at that and she goes, "Cute," and she just waits.
Thank you, ma'am. So we're here investigating. How do I put this?
You haven't been. Keep in mind, you haven't been given a name yet to these gangs. To this gang yet. They just know them as dudes.
We're investigating. How do I put this delicately, ma'am? The sexual assault of a halfling barmaid at the Broken Barn. And we spoke with the victim, and she said that man that did this to her was with a group, and they were talking about how they were complaining about that they owed you money.
Her expression becomes one of like light, not amusement, just kind of like slightly piqued interest with a tone of joviality, like, "Oh, really?" And she still has her chin, her like jaw propped up, her head's at an angle, like kind of like, like this. And she looks at you and she says, "Oh, I know of these men. They're known as the Twinside Terrors."
Twinside,
of course.
Also known as Double T's, the TTs, or just the Twinside Terrors. And she just kind of makes a motion with her hand and she says, yes, they usually like to mark their territories with, and she just waves her hand and in front of, like on a pad of paper that was kind of in front of her, you see just a design pop up. It's very simple. It's a regular looking letter T, and then beside it is an upside down one, and there's a circle around it.
I've copied down the symbol.
Yes. So is George. And she looks at Acantha and goes, yes, they do owe me money, presumably, but either way, it doesn't matter what they do, but if you're looking to collect for me, I assume you'd like to know where they are.
Yes, I'd like to know where they are, and if you could please give me the name of the dark-skinned one with the dreadlocks.
You're looking at Dorothy.
Thank you very much for that information.
But as far as their locale, as you can see, I run a business. And, well, despite you doing me a favor, I suppose you're just saving me the time for me to go collect it myself, which isn't really a favor, it's just sort of a means to an end. If you want the information as to where they are, because I don't know this halfling woman, and therefore it doesn't really matter to me, it's just unfortunate, but I don't blame the cat, it's not one of my own. If you want their locale, you're going to have to pay for it.
Well, we actually plan to bring these ruffians to justice. So, how much do they owe you?
They owe me, collectively, 500 gold pieces.
Wow.
Now, as far as bringing them to justice doesn't mean I get paid. If you want to know their locale, you're going to have to pay me 250 gold, or, as I see you're a band of aces, a future favor that I will collect at a future date. You have your options.
I feel like this is selling my soul to a devil. But considering we don't have the funds, we're gonna have to, most likely take you up on that future favor.
Can we also make an example of them? The double T's?
Do you ask her that?
Yes.
She looks at you, Gromhan, and goes, no, that would be something we would do anyway. That doesn't really mean much to me.
No, like, just so we can do it. Like, so you don't have to. But it's not part of the thing. Just asking if we can make an example of them.
And
anyway.
she gave her response, which is, no, she would do that anyway. It doesn't really matter if you do it. It was just something that would have happened anyway.
Yeah, I think we're going to have
risky business, but...
Some really good mafia boss music. Just do.
Well, I just picked chilled music because we're not in the casino.
True.
Well, we kinda are.
Just in a back room.
It's probably the music she has while petting her cats.
Her pseudo-dragon pets.
Yes.
Is that better?
Pseudo cats.
Yes.
Okay.
And again, she makes a motion with her arms like, well, you have your options. And
Yeah, I think
I've already stated my opinion.
we're going to have to do the favor.
Yeah.
wonderful. She then makes a motion with her hand over the notepad again, and in front of her is a now significantly detailed contract that she then she leans over, she makes a sweeping motion with her hands, and this pad of paper with one contract.
It's one favor, right?
Yeah, but she wants all of you contracted. And then she then sweeps her hand over the one contract, and suddenly 5 appear on the table. And she goes, I know there are only 4 of you, but I'm well aware of the mad dog sitting in my lobby, or rather my casino hall. Might be a lobby to her, implying that there might be some high stakes somewhere else. You'll have to get him to sign it too. This is just a simple contract saying that You, owe me a favor. And if you try to, well, squelch on that bet, I have the right to come at you with retribution completely legal to the law.
A bit before we sign anything.
Go for it. Go for it. You have... I don't care if you leave. I didn't give you anything. Anything noteworthy. And if you find them or not, it doesn't matter. We'll find them eventually. And by find them, I mean when I'm unlazy enough to collect a meager 500 gold.
Alright. We still have the brothel one to look at.
We
so,
do.
If we don't want to sign a contract, we could look into that first, and then if we don't have any leads, we could come back here. Because
I feel like this is a one-time
Yeah.
deal.
Keep in mind, are you saying this, like, out loud?
to,
She says, keep in mind you have managed to get into my office once.
yeah.
I may not be interested in hearing you out again, especially after you spurned my deal.
Well, I'm going to examine a contract, see
Yeah,
if I can
I'd like to
find
read
any
the
fine print.
Go for it. Make a, I guess I would say investigation.
20. No, yeah, 20.
10.
Investigation. 17.
8.
Okay. Graak and Acantha just all they see is lawyer babble. Whereas George, or Gromhan and the Future comb over this contract meticulously. Daruda doesn't even seem to, mind. She's just go ahead. In the contract, there doesn't seem to be any sort of fine print that's designed to fuck you, but it basically does, she basically says, it confirms what she said, that you owe her a future favor for her to collect at any point in time in which she desires. You must pay up on that favor to the best of your ability, or absolutely, depending on the favor, and to refuse or to run out on that gives her the legal right to send bounty hunters or herself to find you personally and exact retribution, which could be anywhere between getting roughed up to face down in the bay, depending on the favor.
Okay.
So everything she said is completely truthful. And there is a section for you guys to sign. And, also by these contracts are pens.
Fancy.
Indeed, fancy pens.
I do have a question for Daruda. If I sign this and I can't get my friend downstairs to sign it, are you still going to accept my?
I will if he doesn't.
Favor?
If he doesn't take the favor or the contract to accept a favor, you are all still bound to adhere to my favor.
But we still get shafted.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
But if Kieg Shadowfist doesn't decide to answer the contract, then he's not on my contract. But if he decides to stop you as a member of your team of aces, as he is not bound to do so, you still have an obligation of that favor, regardless of what he thinks. So if he decides to stop you or not be interested in it, you're either going to have to figure that out or deal with it.
I understand that. I meant, are you still going to give us the information that we can track these assholes down?
Yes, you've all signed, or you will plan on signing, and as soon as you finish signing, I will give you the information. But as far as Kieg's signature, I will send Kieg to go attend to that.
I am signing right now.
Okay.
Sounds good.
As you pick up the pens and put it to paper.
Wait, should I sign with my fake name? That's definitely a bad idea.
Yes, it would be. And actually, speaking of which, now that I think about it, she looks at Graak and goes, I know you gave a fake name at the door. If you sign it of that alias, it will not be fun.
I may be an orc, but I'm not stupid.
Well...
Scribble, scribble, scribble.
How do I write?
Well, I would be surprised if you were smart. Now,
Says Drac.
I bite my finger and put my fingerprint to it as well. After I sign my name.
as
Why
you bite your finger, she says, "No, that won't be necessary." And as you pick up the pen,
I may be an orc, but I'm not a savage.
as you pick up the pen and you write your name on, all of you along your fingers that are touching the pen along the tips feel a prick, and the ink that scrawls out your name is in red.
Oh,
and
damn it.
she raises her brow and says, "That's why."
Damn it, I hate signing in blood.
As you've signed the contract, you have sealed your fate as to work with Daruda in the future. Well, anyway, that's it for this episode. Who knows how this will play out. See you guys next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.